Hello and welcome to Health Matters, coming to you on Channels Television, and thanks for joining us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. When blood moves through the body, it carries with it oxygen and nutrients, which are essential for life, to different organs. It also collects waste products such as undesirable gases to organs that dispose of them. For some reasons which cause blood loss, a blood transfusion is sometimes necessary. This is the process of receiving blood or blood products through a vein into the circulation. According to the World Health Organization, about 108 million blood donations are collected globally every year. Approximately half of this in low and middle income countries, which hold 80% of the world's population, leaving them with a shortfall as far as blood availability is concerned. In the studio with me is Dr. Modupe Olaiya. Dr. Olaiya is a consultant hematologist and the executive secretary of the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service. You're welcome to the show, Dr. Olaiya.
Thank you so much.
Let me start by asking you, what are the indications for a blood transfusion? Why would a person need a transfusion?
Well, the indications for blood transfusion are actually numerous. One of them is if there's a road traffic accident and the victim has lost a lot of blood, that blood has to be replaced. Blood is also needed when you have complications of pregnancy, like during and childbirth. Maybe during pregnancy, the patient has lost a lot of blood. Anytime blood is lost, it must be replaced. During childbirth, so some people lose a lot of blood, and that blood has to be replaced. Also, there are people who are chronically on blood transfusion, people like with sickle cell disease, they are chronically on blood transfusion. Even there are some people with cancers, they are...
So it isn't always frank loss of blood that calls for a transfusion. It could be sickness.
Yeah, it could be sickness. It's not only that. There are some people that have bleeding disorders, like the hemophilia. They will need to be transfused with a particular type of blood product. So there are several uses of blood.
But handling of blood is a very delicate thing.
Yes.
Especially with so many diseases we've heard, around. So what is the blood actually screened for before it's acceptable to a person who should be transfused?
Well, WHO has specified some mandatory ones, like HIV 1 and 2, hepatitis B and C, and syphilis. Those are, mandatory for anybody to screen for before you give the blood. But there are other ones that it depends on the country. For instance, abroad they could screen for cytomegalovirus. They could screen for human T lymphocytes in the blood, and some may even screen for malaria, depending on
where the person comes from.
Yes.
But doesn't it mean that, in this country, for example, I've not heard of screening for those other things.
Yes.
Does it mean that a person can handle the blood, and the blood is safe enough once it's been screened for HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis?
Yes, it is safe.
Anything can be handled, it's safe?
Yes.
Okay. Now, since we're talking about blood donations here, who is eligible to donate blood?
A person who is eligible to donate must, first of all, generally be healthy. As seen by yourself, you are feeling well.
Okay.
The person must be between the age of 18 and 65 years.
Okay, there's a ceiling and a floor.
Yes. And then it may be a male or a female. The weight must...
It could be a female.
Yes, as well.
Many women don't believe they can donate blood because they feel they lose blood.
Yes. With sensitization, people now know that both male and females can donate blood. In the past they will say they are a weaker sex, they don't have enough blood and all that. And all that are changing now, because I can tell you many more people, even females, are donating now. So the person must weigh at least 50 kilograms or 110 pounds to be able to donate. And also, the person must not have been diagnosed before to have any of those transfusion transmissible infection like HIV, hepatitis. You know, there are some people that already know they have it. So there's no need for such people to come forward because their blood cannot be used for transfusion.
Okay, now, who would be absolutely disqualified? An otherwise healthy person that just cannot donate. For example, what about somebody with diabetes?
No, such diseases, as long as the person takes the drug regularly and the diabetes is well controlled, such people can also donate. Even high blood pressure, as long as their blood pressure is well controlled. At the time we are screening such people, the blood pressure is normal. But if it is high, we don't, the person is not
recommend.
Yes, is not eligible for blood donation.
Okay, so how many times can a person donate blood?
A person can donate 3 to 4 times in a year. Every 3 months is good, especially in this environment. Outside this country, people donate every 2 months because by that time, your marrow will have recovered.
You say
after
it takes 120 days?
Yeah, to 120 days for, for a red cell to live.
Okay.
To live. That's the lifespan of a red cell. But after, you wait for 3 months for the marrow to recover fully. All the red cells to have returned and the plasma, the fluidy part to have returned before, if it is too frequent, the person can become iron deficient because there may be a fall short.
Okay, I've always wondered, you talk about voluntary, unpaid donations.
Yes.
Why is blood for money discouraged?
It is discouraged because researches have been done and they have found